You've added another position to your belt this week. What was it like at right guard this week?
Yeah, I mean, well, playing four positions during the season, something I didn't expect, but just getting those reps in practice and just when I found out, just put your head down and do the best job that I can.
I don't know if you heard Coach talking about it. We asked him how difficult it was to do that. And he said it's very difficult. Is it very difficult to switch spots so often like that?
I'm not gonna. It's not an easy thing to do, but with repetitions throughout spring ball, through like during the season right now, during Tuesday, Wednesday practices, it's just something you have to prepare yourself for and understand. I could play right or left side, and just when it comes to it, you just have to put your best foot forward and do your job.
Tomas, have you reached out to any of your former teammates at West Virginia who played these spots and asked for any advice, especially some of the guys who are now playing in the league?
Yeah, I talked to some of the guys that are gone now, but like Wyatt, Yates, Jaquay, all guys that were at West Virginia, they're not there anymore. But I just checked in on them, but not about different positions, just to see how they're doing. And then with Wyatt, he's in the league now. I just don't want to really bother him with what he's got going on. So
During the spring, was it important for you to learn, especially the footwork, technique, and everything about playing these different positions? So when you're making changes in season, you're not spending practice maybe tripping over your feet, trying to figure out, all right, how do I do this? How do I work with my hands and all this stuff at different spots on the line?
yeah, it's very important, but the fundamentals, it's the same thing. You just have to either go left or right. But for me personally, I think it's more of a mental thing. Like going to the game personally, I like to visualize like what position I'm at and like what I'm going to do, what defense they're going to show us, and go throughout the play that way. So personally, it's just a mental thing, and just like slowing it down, understanding like this is where you are now, this is the steps you have to take, and then go from there.
I believe the offensive line mentality has always been next man up for you guys. What have you seen in some of these other guys stepping up and playing significant roles here throughout the first half of the season with, injury here, injury there, and just the constant shuffling that Coach Moore's had to do?
It's really cool to see because these guys are young, they're redshirt freshmen, and just seeing how they come in every day and just working. We're always in the film room together, getting extra film after, and they just really want to put their best foot forward, and they're working their tail off week in and week out.
Other questions for Thomas? And
Do you guys sense with all the shuffling and stuff you have going on with the offensive line that teams are cranking up the pressure against you guys? Do you feel that when you're out there?
Yeah, I mean we definitely feel it, and like when we're preparing for a team, we definitely know that they're going to bring pressure because they might have gotten to the quarterback on a couple of those pressures, so we know we're going to expect it. But that just goes into us as an offensive line. We need to be more consistent, and that's something we've been working on, and that's something we have to continue to work on throughout the week.
How's the team mood coming off of last week where, I mean, you were in it, but there were a lot of penalties that maybe contributed to that loss?
Yeah, Coach said to us on Sunday, you have 24 hours to get through this loss, and same way with the win. You never want to dwell too much on a win or a loss, but on Sunday it's all about coming in, watching the film, learning from your mistakes, and like you said with the penalties, we just can't hurt ourselves. Like I had that holding penalty at the start of that drive that put us behind the chains, and it's just something that can't happen. It's something you got to learn from.
When you do go through corrections on those, do you view those as effort plays, like you're pushing too hard? And where do you find the balance of the effort and making sure you're not getting into that area where an official can throw a penalty flag on you?
Effort, when you're watching film, effort should never change. You should always be going your hardest, but just with that, you have to maintain your fundamentals. And that's what a lot of times happens. Say you make a bad play, you might have stepped the wrong way, maybe too long of a step, too short of a step. At the end of the day, you just have to play with effort, but within yourself and within your fundamentals.
When you've watched film of Georgia Tech's defense, what have you noticed in terms of how they bring pressure and things that you might see them do Saturday to try to get to Kyron?
Yeah, I mean, a great team, obviously ranked, but they're going to show us pressures that we've seen before, and like I said earlier, it's just all about consistency. We just have to put our heads down and work this week on those pressures that we've seen during film, and obviously they can bring something that we haven't seen before and make those corrections on game day.
anything else for Thomas? Thanks, Thomas.
Thank you.